Why it sucked to be a medieval assassin, untold history for secrets. The year is 1291. The city is Acre, the last standing jewel of the Crusader kingdom. The sun has descended beneath the churning waves of the Mediterranean, leaving a sky the color of cooling iron. Listen to the sound of the evening prayer fading into the stone. Feel the weight of the salt-heavy air. This narration is designed to help you find rest. It is for the slowing of your thoughts. There is a quiet, hidden tension in the shadows of the alleyways, but it is a calm one. A secret history of those who moved in the dark, and why their lives were far from the legends of glory. The streets are narrow. They are carved from limestone that has turned gray with the soot of 1,000 fires. The cobbles are uneven and worn smooth by the passage of sandals and hooves. A thick sea fog rolls in from the harbor, clinging to the damp walls. It muffles the sound of the distant city guard. There are no lamps here, only the faint, pale glimmer of the moon catching the moisture on the stones. You are walking with a measured, silent step. Your leather boots are soft-soled, designed to feel the texture of the ground. The cold of the stone rises through the thin hide. The darkness is absolute in the crevices between the houses. It is a heavy, velvet darkness. A darkness that invites the eyes to close. A darkness that cradles the secrets of the night in its ancient hands. The houses are small and cramped. They lean over the narrow lanes as if whispering to one another. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of tallow candles and charcoal fires. A small hearth sits in the corner of a crowded room. The charcoal has burned down to a dull, pulsing orange. The smoke clings to the low rafters. It is a dry, dusty scent. It smells of earth and wood and the sweat of many bodies. You sit in the shadows of a common room. The floor is covered in old, dry rushes. They crunch softly beneath the weight of a resting dog. Mixed with the rushes are the scents of cedar and bitter rue. Their aroma is released slowly by the warmth of the hearth. The walls are thick stone, cold and unyielding. Everything is still. Everything is retreating into the silence. The morning comes not with a flash of light, but with a gray, reluctant softening of the shadows. The city wakes with the sound of a heavy wooden bolt being drawn, thud, then the creak of an iron hinge. The air is sharp with the smell of the sea. The hearth must be cleared of ash. A single ember is coaxed back to life with a slow, steady breath. It is the first task of a quiet, difficult day. Breakfast is a simple, meager affair. A small piece of flatbread, baked on a hot stone. A handful of salted olives and perhaps a bit of dried curd. The bread is tough and tastes of the millstone. You chew slowly, feeling the texture of the grain. The water in the clay pitcher is cool and tastes of the cistern. It is the sustenance of the hidden man. There is no luxury in the life of the ordinary person here. Even those who serve the secret orders live as the poor do. Your clothing is of coarse wool and undyed linen. It is stained with the dust of the road and the salt of the sea. The fabric is heavy and scratchy against the skin. It has been mended with thick, uneven stitches. It is a garment that blends into the crowd. It is a garment designed to be forgotten. You wrap a dark cloak around your shoulders. It is fastened with a plain iron pin. The wool is thick enough to hide the shape of a hidden blade. You step out into the street. The fog is beginning to lift, revealing the bustle of the markets. The cobbles are slick with the night's damp. The merchants are setting out their wares. They move with a slow, weary grace. The work of the day is often the work of waiting. For the common laborer, it is the hauling of water from the public wells. The wooden buckets are heavy and the rope is rough against the palms. For the shopkeeper, it is the endless stacking of spices and textiles. For the hidden man, it is the standing in shadows, watching the rhythm of the city, watching the gate, watching the sun. The streets are filled with the sound of carts. They are heavy, wooden-wheeled wagons pulled by straining mules. The wheels rattle and groan over the limestone. They bring grain from the hinterlands and silk from the east. The hooves of the mules make a rhythmic, hollow sound. Clack-thud, clack-thud. It is the steady pulse of a city under siege. Children move through the crowds with a quiet, practiced stealth. They are not playing. They are carrying messages. They are fetching water. They are learning the trades of their fathers. A small boy sits by a weaver's loom, sorting threads by the dim light of the doorway. His hands are small and nimble. He works in a silence that is older than the city walls. In the market square, the air is thick with the scent of the world. Dried sumac, pungent cumin, and the sweet smell of roasting meat. The trade is done in whispers and low murmurs. A handful of copper coins for a measure of chickpeas. A silver bit for a piece of cured leather. The coins are thin and worn, their faces rubbed smooth by 1,000 hands. You watch a blacksmith at his anvil. The heat of the forge is a dull roar in the cool morning. The hammer falls with a rhythmic, metallic ring. Tink-clink, tink-clink. It is a hypnotic sound. The iron glows a deep, angry red before it is quenched in a barrel of brackish water. The steam rises in a white, hissing cloud. The blacksmith's arms are corded with the labor of a lifetime. The transport of the city is slow and deliberate. There is no hurry in the heat of the afternoon. A string of camels arrives at the land gate. Their bells make a soft, rhythmic jangle. They carry the dust of the desert in their fur. The animals are weary, their heads hanging low. They move as if in a dream, passing through the shadows of the great stone arch. Midday brings a pause to the labor. The sun is a heavy weight upon the city. You return to the small, cramped house. The fire is now a bed of white ash. You sit on a low wooden bench, the grain of the timber smooth against your hand. You eat a bowl of lentil pottage. It is thick and salty. It smells of the earth. You drink a cup of thin, sour wine. It lingers on the tongue like a memory. The afternoon is a time for the quiet maintenance of life. The sharpening of a tool. The mending of a sandal. The sound of the whetstone is a long, low hiss. Fishy. 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 It is a peaceful, repetitive sound. The edge of the blade becomes bright and keen. It is a secret hidden beneath the wool of the cloak. It is a burden that never leaves the side. In the charity school near the cathedral, the voices of children rise in a low, monotonous chant. They are learning the Psalms. They are learning the laws of the church. The air is cool and smells of old parchment and incense. The children sit on the cold stone floor, their eyes fixed on the teacher's rod. They are the future of a city that is slowly fading. The cathedral is a mountain of stone and light. Its spire reaches for the clouds like a silent prayer. Inside, the silence is as thick as the dust motes dancing in the shafts of sun. The stone floor is worn into hollows by the feet of the faithful. You sit for a moment in the back of the nave, your breath slowing to the rhythm of the ancient stone. Outside, a water carrier passes by. He carries a large goatskin bag slung across his back. The water sloshes softly with every step. He walks with a slow, swaying gait to balance the weight. The water is for those who cannot reach the well. It is a humble service. It is a necessary labor. His footsteps are lost in the dust of the street. The shadows begin to lengthen as the sun moves toward the sea. The work of the day is drawing to a close. The blacksmith puts away his hammer. The weaver leaves his loom. The market stalls are shuttered and barred. The city is preparing for the coming night. The cycle is turning toward the rest. You walk back toward your district, the air growing cooler with every step. The sea mist is returning, swallowing the base of the fortifications. The smell of charcoal fires is stronger now, as every small hearth is fed for the evening meal. It is a comforting, domestic smell. The smell of survival in a world of stone. The evening meal is much like the morning: pottage, bread, perhaps a small piece of dried fish. It is eaten in the dim light of a rushlight. The family sits in a circle, their faces cast in deep shadow. There is little talk. The fatigue of the day is a heavy blanket. The world is shrinking to the reach of the firelight. The children are the first to retire. They sleep on a pallet of straw in the corner of the room, covered with a single, threadbare blanket of wool. They drift off quickly, their breathing deep and rhythmic. The straw rustles as they settle. Then all is still. They are safe within the thick walls. The night is outside. You sit by the dying fire for a while longer, watching the embers. They are like the eyes of a beast, glowing and then fading. You feel the weight of the secret life in your bones. It is a lonely weight. The life of the hidden man is not one of glory, but of silence and poverty. Your mind is quiet. The city is quiet. The last of the wine is gone. The cup is empty. You stand and move to your own bed. The straw is firm and smells of the field. The wool of the blanket is heavy and warm. You pull it up to your chin, feeling the cold air of the room against your face. Your body begins to relax, muscle by muscle. Listen to the sounds of the acre night. The distant call of the watchman on the walls. All is well. All is well. His voice is a low, fading drone. The scuttle of a mouse behind the wainscoting. The crack of the cooling hearth. The wind sighing through the gaps in the stone. These are the sounds of a city at rest. The fog has completely enveloped the city now. It is a thick, white shroud. It hides the masts of the ships in the harbor. It hides the crosses on the church towers. The city is sleeping. The thousands of souls within are breathing in unison. A slow, deep rise and fall. The stone of the houses is cold. The earth beneath is deep and still. You are drifting, like a leaf caught in the harbor current, moving slowly toward the open sea. There is no effort. The water carries you. The darkness is a friend. It is a velvet curtain, closing out the light of the day. The year 1291 is fading. The city of Acre is a dream. The cobbles are silent. The carts are still. The horses are resting in their stalls. The fires are all but out. Only a faint, lingering warmth remains in the ash. The smell of the sea is the last thing you notice. It is a salt-heavy, ancient scent, a promise of peace. The world is gone. There is only the darkness and the breath. The watchman's voice is gone. The wind has died away. The silence is profound. It is the silence of history. It is the silence of the stone. You are part of it now, a small spark in the vast, cold night, fading, fading, into the deep, quiet sleep of the ages. The wood of the ceiling is old and strong. It is held for many lifetimes. It will hold for many more. You are safe beneath its weight. The walls are thick and the door is barred. There is nothing to fear in the dark. The dark is where the strength is gathered. But the dawn is far away. The grain in the silos is sleeping. The wine in the jars is sleeping. The birds in the eaves are tucked beneath their wings. All of nature is at rest, and so are you. Your heart beats slowly. A steady drum in the quiet house. A drum that marks the passage of a peaceful night. The fog is so thick you can no longer see the window. It does not matter. The eyes are closed. The mind is still. The thoughts have all dissolved like salt in the sea. There is no past. There is no future. There is only this moment of profound rest. This moment of deep, unchanging calm. The heavy wool of the blanket feels like the earth itself. Solid and sure. You sink deeper into the straw. It yields to your shape. It holds you. The room is dark. The city is dark. The world is dark. And in that darkness, there is a perfect, gentle light. The light of a soul at peace. Sleep now. As the medieval city sleeps, under the protection of the stone and the fog, under the watch of the silent stars. The night is long. The rest is deep. The silence is your home. Follow the mist into the dream. Follow the river to the sea. All is well. The end of the day. The beginning of the rest. The long, slow walk through the shadows of the past. Back to the silence. Back to the source. Sleep. 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 The cobbles are cold, but you are warm. The air is damp, but you are dry. The night is vast, but you are safe. There is no time here. There is only the moment, and the moment is sleep. Let the shadows take you. Let the mist guide you. Let the sea carry you into the deep, dark heart of the medieval night, where the only law is the law of the rest, and the only king is the king of the dreams, fading, fading, into the gray, into the quiet, into the peace. The city is gone. The year is gone. There is only the breath, and the silence, and the sleep. The streets of Acre are waiting for the sun, but it is many hours away. For now, there is only the mist and the moon, hidden behind the clouds. There is only the sound of the waves, whispering to the stone, a long, low hiss of water. Like a lullaby from the dawn of time, listen to the water. It has seen the rise and fall of empires. It has flowed past these walls for 1,000 years. It knows the rhythm of the work and the rhythm of the rest. It sings of the deep earth and the high mountains. It sings of the peace that comes to all things in the end. The water is your breath, flowing in, flowing out, a steady, ceaseless movement that brings you closer to the center of your own being, closer to the silence, closer to the sleep. You are the sea. You are the stone. You are the fog. The city is a memory. The year is a number. The person is a shadow. There is only the existence, pure and quiet, like the light of a star that has already gone out, but whose glow still reaches the earth. You are that glow, fading gently into the dark. The straw of the bed is the grass of the field. The wool of the blanket is the sheep on the hill. The stone of the house is the mountain itself. You are surrounded by the natural world, even in the heart of the city. You are part of the great cycle, the cycle that always returns to the rest. Rest now. The day is done. The work is finished. The bread is eaten. The fire is out. There is nothing left to do but be. To be in the darkness. To be in the silence. To be in the peace. The fog is closing in, tighter and tighter. A soft, white cocoon. You are safe. You are warm. You are loved by the earth. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The watchman is far away now. His voice only a vibration in the air. All is well, and it truly is. The world is as it should be. In the quiet, in the dark, in the sleep, the end of the day, the beginning of the dream, the long, slow journey through the centuries, back to the silence, back to the source. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The cobbles are silent beneath the mist. The carts are still in the squares. The mules are resting in their stalls. The world is at peace, and you are at peace. The secret history is a story told to the wind. It has no power over you now. The hidden blade is a tool of the past. The shadow is just a shadow. There is only the rest. The year 1291 is a page in a closed book. The city of Acre is a drawing on an old map. You are the reader who has finished the tale, and now the light is being extinguished, fading, fading, into the gray, into the quiet, into the sleep. The sea is a mirror for the stars. The stone is a cradle for the city. The breath is a bridge to the dream. Sleep now, as the world has always slept. In the arms of the night, in the heart of the silence, the bread in the larder is waiting for the dawn. The water in the jug is still. The fire in the hearth is a ghost of heat. All things are waiting, and you are waiting, waiting for the sleep, and it is here. All is well. All is well. All is well. The night is a river of ink, flowing through the streets, washing away the dust of the day, washing away the memory of the labor, leaving only the quiet. You are in the river. You are flowing with the dark. You are moving toward the deep, closer, closer, to the sleep. The straw is soft. The wool is thick. The room is dark. The peace is absolute. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The city is a mountain of shadow. The harbor is a pool of silence. The world is a dream, and you are the dreamer. Fading, fading, fading. The secret history is yours to keep. In the silence, in the dark, in the rest. The salt air is a cool hand upon your brow. The stone wall is a sturdy shoulder to lean upon. The night is a gentle mother to hold you. Sleep now. As the earth sleeps, as the history sleeps, as the secret sleeps, the watchman has walked his final round. The gates are barred for the last time. The city is sealed, and you are safe in the sleep, in the peace, in the dark. The morning is a distant hope, but the night is a present comfort. Embrace the comfort. Embrace the dark. Embrace the rest. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The wool of the blanket is the weight of the years. It holds you down. It holds you still. It holds you in the peace. The straw of the bed is the rustle of the wind. It sings to you. It tells you of the fields. It tells you of the rest. Listen to the song. Follow the sound. Into the sleep. The city of Acre is a whisper in the mist. The year 1291 is a shadow on the wall. You are the silence. Fading, fading, fading. Quiet, still, sleep. The harbor is a bowl of silver. The mountains are walls of lead. The sky is a roof of velvet. The world is a room for you, and the room is dark, and the room is quiet, and the room is for the rest. All is well, all is well, all is well. The breath is a slow wave. The heart is a steady pulse. The mind is a calm pool. No ripples, no thoughts, only the sleep. The secret of the assassin is the secret of the stone. It does not move. It does not speak. It only exists. Be like the stone. Exist in the dark. Exist in the rest. Fading, fading, into the peace. The city is gone. The history is gone. The day is gone. There is only the sleep, and the sleep is good. The end, the end, the end. Sleep, as the crusaders sleep, as the merchants sleep, as the children sleep, under the protection of the fog, under the watch of the stars. The night is yours. The rest is yours. The silence is yours. All is well. The sea is whispering to the sand. The wind is whispering to the thatch. The soul is whispering to the dark. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The hearth is cold. The room is dark. The bed is warm. The journey is over. The path is at an end. The sleep is beginning, fading, fading into the quiet. The world is a shadow. The shadow is a dream. The dream is yours. Good night, good night, good night. The stone is your pillow. The wool is your shield. The night is your home. Be at peace. Be at rest. Be in the sleep, fading, into the dark, into the silence, into the peace. The end. The city of Acre is a memory of the waves. The year 1291 is a flicker in the fire, and you are the rest. Sleep. The fog is the breath of the sea, and it is your breath too. Slow, deep, still. The secret is the silence, and the silence is the sleep. The end, the silent forge. A winter in a Viking village. The year is 980. The village is nestled deep within a fjord on the western coast of Norway. The sun has not been seen for many weeks, hidden behind the high, snow-capped peaks that wall in the sea. The sky is a permanent bruise of deep indigo and charcoal. Listen to the sound of the ice groaning against the wooden pier. Feel the sharp, crystalline bite of the northern air. This narration is here to guide you toward a profound slumber. It is for the steady rhythm of your breathing. There is a quiet, cold suspense in the howling wind outside, but it is a familiar one. A gentle preservation of the hearth fire against the vast, white wilderness. The village paths are narrow. They are not paved, but consist of frozen earth covered in a thick, packed layer of dry snow. The snow crunches with a hollow, metallic sound beneath your heavy boots. The air is so cold it seems to shimmer in the moonlight. There are no lamps along the way, only the warm, amber rectangles of light spilling from the low doorways of the longhouses. The darkness is ancient and pure. It is a darkness that smells of pine resin and salt, a darkness that invites the body to seek the warmth of the firs. You are walking slowly toward the great hall. Your cloak is made of heavy, felted wool, lined with the thick pelt of a mountain fox. The fur tickles your neck, trapping the warmth of your breath. The world outside is a study in silver and shadow. The mountains loom like silent giants, their peaks touching the stars. It is a landscape that demands stillness, a landscape that encourages the mind to retreat inward. The longhouse is a low, sturdy vessel of timber and stone. Its roof is a thick layer of sod, now frozen solid and covered in a white mantle. Inside, the air is a heavy mixture of wood smoke, roasted meat, and the earthy scent of the livestock huddling at the far end of the hall. A long fire trench runs down the center of the room. The peat and oak logs burn with a steady, low flame. The smoke rises to the blackened rafters, curling around the dried fish hanging there. It is a rich, comforting scent. It smells of endurance. You find a place upon the raised wooden platforms that line the walls. The wood is draped in thick rugs of sheepskin and bear fur. The wool is coarse but incredibly warm. You sink into the layers, feeling the chill of the night begin to leave your limbs. The walls are hung with colorful tapestries telling stories of old gods and far-off lands. The firelight makes the figures dance in the shadows. Everything is slow. Everything is turning toward the night. The morning brings no sun, only a slight thinning of the indigo sky into a pale, watery gray. The village wakes to the sound of a heavy iron pot being stirred. Clink, clink. The frozen world outside remains unchanged. The first task of the day is to break the ice on the water barrel. The sound of the axe hitting the ice is a sharp, clean crack. Then the splash of the cold, dark water. It is a vital, waking sound. Breakfast is a quiet, fortifying meal. A wooden bowl of thick barley porridge, sweetened with a little dried honey. Perhaps a piece of hard, smoked elk meat. The porridge is hot and sticks to the ribs. You hold the bowl in both hands, letting the steam warm your nose and cheeks. The wood of the spoon is smooth and dark with age. You eat slowly, honoring the grain that was gathered in the short, bright summer. Your clothing is a series of layers. A linen tunic against the skin, followed by a heavy woolen kirtle dyed a deep madder red. Your trousers are loose and cross-wrapped with wool leggings to keep the snow out. The wool is scratchy, but it is the only thing that stands between you and the frost. Every garment has been spun, woven, and sewn by the hands of the women in the hall. It is a clothing made of time and patience. You step out to the forge to begin the day's labor. The blacksmith is already there, his breath forming a thick cloud in the frigid air. The work of the winter is the work of repair, fixing the iron rivets on a shield, sharpening the blades of the wood axes. The bellows sigh as they feed the charcoal. Huff, wheeze, huff, wheeze. The fire in the forge is the brightest thing in the village. A brilliant, dancing orange in the gray light. The hammer falls on the anvil with a rhythmic, ringing tone. Tang, tang, tang. It is a sound that echoes off the steep walls of the fjord. The iron is stubborn in the cold, but the heat of the forge tames it. You watch the sparks fly and vanish in the gloom. They are like tiny, fallen stars. The work is steady and requires no words. The heat of the metal warms the small space, creating a haven of industry. The children are busy with the indoor chores. They sit by the hearth, carding raw wool into soft rolls for spinning. Their fingers move quickly and rhythmically. They help the elders mend the fishing nets, their small hands weaving the hemp cords back together. They learn the stories of the sea and the wind as they work. Their voices are low murmurs beneath the crackle of the fire. They are the keepers of the village's future. In the village center, a small sledge passes by. It is made of ash wood and is pulled by a sturdy, long-haired pony. The sledge carries firewood from the lower slopes of the mountain. The wooden runners hiss softly over the packed snow. The pony's hooves make a dull, muffled thud. The driver is wrapped in so many furs he looks like a bear. He nods to you, his beard white with frozen breath. The transport of the village is limited by the ice. The great longships are pulled up onto the shore, resting on wooden rollers. They are covered in layers of birch bark and pine branches to protect their hulls. They look like sleeping sea serpents, waiting for the spring thaw. The masts have been taken down. The oars are stacked in the sheds. The sea is a frozen wasteland, and the ships are at rest. Midday brings a gathering in the longhouse for a light meal. A slab of rye bread and a piece of sharp, aged cheese made from goat's milk. The bread is dense and requires much chewing. You drink a horn of ale, flavored with bog myrtle. It is bitter and warming. You sit in the dim light, watching the smoke drift toward the roof. The world outside is silent, save for the occasional moan of the wind. The afternoon is a time for the quiet trades, carving bone into needles and combs. The small knife shaves away the material with a soft, scraping sound. Scritch, scritch. The bone is white and smooth. It is a delicate work that requires a steady hand. The shavings fall into the rushes on the floor. It is a task that fills the hours when the light is failing. In a corner of the hall, a woman works at the vertical loom. The loom weights, made of heavy stone, clink together as she moves the threads. Clack, clack. It is a metallic, percussive sound. She is weaving a sail for the spring. The wool is thick and treated with oil to make it waterproof. The fabric grows inch by inch, a testament to the endurance of the village. The shadows deepen early in the north. The indigo sky returns and the stars begin to flicker over the peaks of the fjord. The work of the forge is finished. The tools are oiled and put away. The heavy wooden door of the longhouse is closed and barred with a thick beam of oak. The village is a fortress against the cold. The cycle is turning toward the long, deep night. You return to your place on the platform. The air is warmer now, heated by the bodies of the people and the animals. The smell of the evening meal is rich and heavy. A stew of seal meat and root vegetables, simmered for hours in the great iron cauldron. It is a dark, fatty broth that provides the energy needed to fight the frost. You eat in a companionable silence, the firelight reflecting in the eyes of your kin. The evening is for the telling of sagas. An elder stands by the fire, his voice a low, rhythmic drone. He tells of the voyages to the west, of the sunstones used to find the way through the fog, of the great whales that breach in the cold green sea. His words are a bridge to the world outside, a way to remember the sun when it is gone. The children listen with their heads on their mothers' laps, their eyes growing heavy. The children are the first to sleep. They are tucked into the furs, their small bodies providing warmth to one another. Their breathing is a soft, rhythmic sigh. The dogs at the foot of the platform settle with a groan. The world is shrinking to the circle of the fire. The darkness is a protective wall. You sit by the fire for a little longer, watching the last log turn into a landscape of glowing canyons. You feel the immense weight of the winter. It is a solid thing, like the ice on the fjord. Your mind is quiet. The worries of the hunt and the harvest are far away. There is only the warmth and the safety of the hall. The last horn of ale is finished. The fire has burned down to a steady, red pulse. You lie back into the furs, feeling the sheepskin conform to your body. The wool is heavy and comforting. You pull the fox pelt over your shoulders, the soft fur warm against your cheek. Your body begins to relax, muscle by muscle. Listen to the sounds of the Viking night, the low, rhythmic snoring of the men, the soft shifting of the cattle in the straw, the crack of a cooling timber in the roof, the distant, mournful howl of the wind as it searches for a way inside. These are the sounds of a people who have mastered the cold. They are the sounds of home. The snow is falling heavily now, piling up against the stone walls of the longhouse. It is a silent, white insulation. It smothers the sound of the world. The village is a secret buried beneath the winter. The thousands of miles of wilderness are all silent and still. The earth is deep and frozen. You are drifting, like a piece of driftwood on the tide, moving slowly through the dark water of the fjord. There is no effort. The current carries you. The darkness is a heavy cloak, wrapping around you, closing out the cold. The year 980 is a shadow. The village is a dream. The forge is silent. The hammers are still. The ships are sleeping beneath the bark. The fires are low, only a faint, lingering heat remains in the stones of the hearth. The smell of pine smoke is the last thing you notice. It is a sharp, clean scent, a promise of the forest. The world is gone. There is only the darkness and the breath. The voice of the storyteller is gone. The wind has died away to a whisper. The silence is profound. It is the silence of the north. It is the silence of the ice. You are part of it now. A small spark in the vast, frozen night, fading, fading, into the deep, quiet sleep of the fjord. The timber of the hall is strong. It was carved from the oldest pines. It is held against 100 winters. It will hold against this one. You are safe within its embrace. The roof is thick. The walls are steady. There is nothing to fear in the dark. The dark is where the strength is gathered for the coming year. But the year is far off. The fish in the deep water are sleeping beneath the ice. The bears in their dens are sleeping beneath the earth. The birds have all flown to the south. All of nature is at rest, and so are you. Your heart beats slowly. A steady, quiet drum in the warm hall. A drum that marks the passage of a long winter's night. The snow is so thick it has reached the eaves. It does not matter. The eyes are closed. The mind is still. The thoughts have all drifted away like the smoke from the fire. There is no yesterday. There is no tomorrow. There is only this moment of profound rest. This moment of deep, unchanging calm. The heavy weight of the firs feels like the earth itself. Solid and sure. You sink deeper into the sheepskin. It holds you. The hall is dark. The village is dark. The world is dark. And in that darkness, there is a perfect, gentle light. The light of a soul at peace. Sleep now. As the Viking world sleeps, under the protection of the timber and the stone, under the watch of the silent mountains, the night is long. The rest is deep. The silence is your home. Follow the smoke into the dream. Follow the ice to the sea. All is well. The end of the day. The beginning of the rest. The long, slow journey through the indigo night. Back to the silence. Back to the source. Sleep. 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 The fjord is cold. But you are warm. The air is sharp. But you are safe. The night is vast. But you are home. There is no time here. There is only the moment, and the moment is sleep. Let the shadows of the hall take you. Let the scent of the pine guide you. Let the rhythm of the tide carry you into the deep, dark heart of the northern night, where the only law is the law of the rest, and the only king is the king of the dreams, fading, fading, into the white, into the quiet, into the peace. The village is gone. The year is gone. There is only the breath, and the silence, and the sleep.